welcome to the Bodyholic with Dee podcast. I'm your host, Dee, and this podcast is sponsored by Bodyholic, the global health and fitness community. You can find us on Instagram or on bodyholic.fit. This is a special series called Creative Echoes, Women Navigating Conflict Through Artistic Expression. And we've been exploring the voices of female artists amidst the Israel Hamas conflict. Our aim is to not only understand how these women are coping during these challenging times, but also to highlight the power of their art in promoting collective and individual well-being. Today, I am so thrilled to have Merav Shacham as our final guest in the series. Merav is a highly talented promo designer and director for television and film. She is the owner of the Bananamoon design and animation studio, and she's the graduate of the master's degree program in visual communication at the highly prestigious Bezalel Academy of Design and Art. Merav is also a lecturer in the field of broadcasting in the visual communication department in, once again, the highly prestigious Shenkar. With a very impressive track record, Merav has worked for about 5 years in the promo department of Reshet, which is Channel 2, and as a designer and art director in several other post houses. Her clients include renowned names such as Netflix, HBO, Kan 11, Public Broadcasting Corporation, yes, hot, Keshet International, United King, July August Productions, and so much more. In recent years, Merav has created captivating overtures for popular shows like Fauda, My Successful Sister, The Commandant, Citizen K, and The Police, and more and more. I'm so excited for you to hear her insights and experiences as she combines her artistic talent with her understanding of the media industry into a discussion about empathy and understanding and coping. Join us for this insightful conversation as we delve into the world of art and its ability to navigate conflict, promote well-being, and inspire change. Stay tuned for the last episode of Creative Echoes, Women Navigating Conflict Through Artistic Expression with our remarkable and wonderfully sweet guest, Merav Shacham.
Merav Shacham, thank you so much for being here with me. You are so incredibly talented and just a wonderful human being to be around. So I really appreciate your presence. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Can you just say a few words about yourself and your work and what you do in the studio?
Okay. So I think in the first thing I can say that I'm a graphic designer, but I think in the past few years it's more a director and art director maybe. Mm-hmm. In my studio it's especially title sequence. I do title sequence for TV series and movies. And all this post-production graphic stuff for the TV. And I really enjoy it. And it's like my own specialty. And I also teach title sequence course in Shenkar Academy. It's a design and art academy. And art direction, and this is like my two main hats: the studio and to lecture. And also I'm like a musician for a really small age, flute player, musician, and I really like to evolve music and sound in my works. And also I have a master degree in visual communication from Bezalel. And in Bezalel, I did some art videos, video arts, I don't know, video pieces. And I also composed my music in it. So,
oh, that's beautiful.
yes,
I love that.
it's like my main thing, and we're going to talk about it. But in last year, I have a specialty in AI animation, all the stuff that involve like artificial intelligence with generating images and generating animation and video. So this is like my new hobby.
I am so not artistic in like and I just want to take your class. Like I want to go. That sounds so interesting. I just want to go and like learn something, even though I would be a misfit. But yeah, I wish I could.
No, I really think that if you want to learn, it's not so complicated. You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll make a note of it. Maybe during my maternity leave.
Yes, yeah,
We'll
it's really
see.
good time.
So Merav, I wanna talk about the reason that I'm doing this series, and this is actually the last part of the series, is because it was very important for me to bring the voice of female artists to the fore who are living in Israel during this very, very complicated time. First of all, because I think that women's voices are kind of being hushed, not because they're shutting us down, but just because war is such a masculine thing.
Yeah.
And many men are running the show right now. So there was that. There's also the maternal aspect of the female presence, and then there's the female artist with the maternal aspect that I find very interesting. And I think that the world has to hear us a little bit more. So when I say us, I mean women, maybe mothers, but also the creative experience that comes from you. I find very, very important for my personal well-being right now. And so as a well-being platform, it was important for me to bring artists to the fore and make people aware of you and your work. And so I'm curious how the Hamas and Israel war influenced your artistic and your creative process. Even if you tell me that it shut you down, that's also legit. Like it's all legit.
Yeah. Wow, I have a lot to say about it. First of all, like being a woman now in this situation in Israel, Jewish, it's so complicated, and it's so everything is so horrible, and like I'm a really sensitive person, and I have like anxiety attacks in just regular days. So I don't know what to say, because you don't have any words left, and that's what brings me to this artistic side or visual side, because words, there are so many people or women that can say, write, talk about this stuff. And I truly do. I listened to what you said, and I wanted to say, yeah, I was my artistic side was shut down at the beginning. It was very, very hard to work, to do something. You are just like all over the news, and you just need to hear about stuff and to like talk with your friends. You can't create. But I wanted to do something, and I feel like as a woman, we also have like the our sensitive side, and we can talk, and not in a aggressive way. We can be calm, and we can talk more to the heart of people, you know. And I think this is very important side in this war, and also I think you are talking about it a lot, but all the networks, you know, the social networks, Instagram, TikTok, everything, you feel all the time attacked by, I don't know, pro-Palestinian and stuff. And I originally an artist, left side, liberal, for human, you know, really for humanity. And to live here in Israel, it's so complicated for us as an artist, because you don't agree with you don't all the time agree with the government, or you don't agree with the government, and you really try to do your own little thing to influence people, and it doesn't work all the time. And now it's really difficult, and you feel like you lost in a battle of your life, to make other people hear you. And you know, I'm part of many galleries and museums account. I follow lots of artist accounts in the world, and magazines, museums, and I see really big part of them are like against Israel, or against what's happening, and you feel lost. And in this thing, I created two pieces. One piece was with artificial AI animation, and it was really, I think I created it in the 8th or 9th of October. It was really when things were
wow.
And it was about what Hamas did. It was like horrifying one, and I was thinking if I want to upload it, because it was too aggressive, maybe a little bit, but I felt that I want to show this monster cruelty of what they did, or because I didn't see or hear, even in like horrifying music movies, stuff like that. And I heard so much, maybe too much, of what they did, and it was really influenced me, and I wanted to make people feel it. And also I have followers in Hollywood, you know, because I made title sequence of Fauda, of like lots of HBO and Netflix productions, and I have followers from Hollywood, and I have followers from all sorts of post-production companies and studios around the world, and I want to upload this, and I wanted them to feel it and to watch it. And after 2 weeks, I decided to make one more animation piece, really small one, and it was really gentle and like a more sensitive one, and more maybe even a little bit like a child, half naive piece, about the hostages, to bring home the hostages, the children, and all the people that are kidnapped to Gaza. And these two pieces I made, I created, and it's really hard to create now. It's really hard. Your mind is so hectic and so cannot focus, and it's really not easy. I'm also a mother for two little girls, and I need to take care of them also, and I need to explain them also the stuff that are going on right now. Part of them they know from school, from friends. Part of them they know because all our streets in Tel Aviv covered with pictures of kidnapped people, and every day people are dying. Every day soldiers are dying. So many worries. So to be an artist right now, it's really challenging. And I think my most care as an artist is that I want other people from all over the world, artists, people, designers, I don't know, people from my musicians, people that are really care about culture and art, will find a place in their heart for both sides, because I do really worried about the Gaza people. I know they're suffering. I know they're dying. I know it's horrifying for both sides. I always think about the two sides, and the story is so sad and so complicated. And I'm 45 years old, and I remember from my childhood this the war and another thing and another another attack and then dying, and I remember in the age of 16 that I was protesting for peace, like in the days that before Rabin was killed. And I think lots of artists here in Tel Aviv are like me, and there is a really special guy. His name is Inon. I need to remember his family name, but his both parents were killed in the 7th of October, and I always share his reels and posts, because he's always saying he's not seeking for revenge. He's seeking for peace, and he's seeking for truth and ceasefire. And I really think that if those people were in the government, things were different or better. And I really pray that all these things will stop, and some sense will come to our leaders, because we can't go like this anymore. I really believe that you are, and me, and lots of our families and friends and people from Gaza and Palestinian people want peace and want quiet and want to live. And we want to make our art and design, and we want to make music, and we want to to live like all the other people, and it's hard. It's a hard time.
I so relate to, first of all, everything you said. Everything you said hits me right in the middle of my heart. But also the sense of not really doing anything except for dealing with the war and the situation, and the concerned about the aftermath and the repercussions, and which is actually what led me to going from a very, very science-based podcast to creating a series within the podcast that is about talking to the world and reaching out and showing something from within here, what we're going through, and the people who live in Israel, and specifically the female voice. And like suddenly I don't want to talk about push-ups and sets and reps, and like it's in the back of my mind right now, also for because I'm thinking about my daughter, and I'm thinking about how to create a better world for our children, and the fact that she knows exactly what to do during a siren, and she knows that there are people who are bombing us. She knows, because there's a point where like you can't sugarcoat it anymore.
Yes, you can't cover it anyhow,
Yeah. The sense of betrayal that you were mentioning, you didn't actually use that word, and I think I kind of am superimposing it, because I'm feeling a sense of betrayal from the world. And when you're saying that, like, you have all these people around the world who you interact with on social media and professionally, and you're seeing things that they're posting. This is something that I'm very concerned with in general. It takes over my thoughts a lot throughout the day. And I think what you're doing is so important. The fact that you're creating and posting and doing what you can in your format to explain the situation, I think that's huge. And I'm also curious in the ways that you do believe in, furthermore, from what I just said, that art and design can contribute to fostering understanding and empathy right in the middle of the conflict and the political tension.
It's we're talking about it a lot between the lecturers in the art academy, because we are talking about asking the students to make some of their contributions to the situation, because I think it's not only graphic design, it's also, yes, it's visual communication, like we are communicate with the visuals. I think, yes, and also artists. I think we have a really strong part of in this war, in those social networks. It's like our gallery, So
Right.
I think it's a great influence, because, like I said, like words and to talk and to write, it's not like images. Images have their own impact, and I think this impact can be very, very strong. And also visual communication, you can work with typography, you can work with illustrations, you can work with photographs, you can sketch, you can do anything. And we have our our inner force, inner part of as an artist, we can look at things a bit different, and we have our imagination. And also, I'm making animation video, so I work with the sound, and sound is really, really important. And I think we have really important part in this to show the world our point of view, and our point of view is it's like I said, it's not only to shout out We can do it also quietly, and we can do it also like with something small, or with a really good idea, but modest, you know. So I think it's really important, and you really need, as an artist and a designer, to think what you want to say, because this one is really, really important, and you need to think deep how to show it, and what to show and how to show, because everybody's are so sensitive right now. So you know, it's also it's you know, it's what we teach. We teach how to think visually. So so now it's really the good time to show it, because
for me,
time is very social thing, you know. We, you know, like I'm not really in this part, but you know, a graphic designer can make signs, and graphic designer can make posters, and a graphic designer can make I don't know, newspaper ads, and it can make also you know, websites and applications and everything. So we have so much tools in our hands, and to create.
And the fact that you're talking about communicating the visuals, that's exactly what I've been feeling since October 7th, is the lack of words. And like, I mean, people who listen to the podcast and follow me know that that's totally my thing. My thing is words. And exactly like you're seeing me right now, it's like you've left me speechless. Like the world has left me speechless.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely where you come in, and where your colleagues come in, and in creating things that we can't speak. And whether it's because we can't find the words, or whether because the words are, we can't say them, you know?
Yeah, I think speechless is really like a really big word right now, because every day you became speechless again and again.
Right. We're exhausted. We're exhausted.
Yeah. And I think, you know, at the end, what worked in Israel, like for me, or I think what is working in Israel since I remember, is the communication and the relationship one-on-one. Because when you are talking with people one-on-one, and when you meet people one-on-one, also in Israel, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, people, you know, people from another countries, or I don't know. When you talk one-on-one, people can understand. People can relate, and people became more open-hearted. And I think this one-on-one, if we could do it in other ways, like social ways, social media, I don't know, podcast, Instagram, TV, I don't know, if we could do this one-on-one with the people that now are against Israel, things would be different, you know.
My God, I totally agree.
Yeah, because
I think about that a lot.
We are people, you know. We are all the same. It's really a cliche, but I think I really believe that we are all the same, and everybody hurts their hurt. Everybody is have their pains. Yeah, and we all have pains. We all have. So if I don't think the reason it's so important. We need to talk, we need to have a comfort with each other. So I think this is also it's also make me feel as an artist that I want to speak to one person, not for everybody. I want to speak just for one, just for you, and that's all. Just I want you to understand me. That's all. Or you don't even need to understand. You can only feel something. That's all.
That's kind of how I feel when like I'm seeing people, really calling for the genocide of our people. And I'm sitting there, it doesn't make me feel like I want to get up and get in their face. I don't even want to shout. I'm like, wow, you're really hurting my feelings. Like, can we just have a cup of coffee? And like, that's really my reaction. It's not that I don't.
Sorry. Also, I hear them. I can understand. I understand why they do it. I understand why they want it. Yeah, because lots of people are suffering right now. But, it's not me that caused your sorrow. It's not me that's killing you.
Right.
No,
right.
Just hear me. That's all.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's so complicated for people to understand, but it's really simple.
It's actually so complicated. It's so hard for people to understand the complications.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the world and it's like they cannot accept the fact that it's not black and white. It's not. We're talking about, like, we're not talking about history from a few years ago. We're talking about a very, 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 very long history. And we're talking about issues within each people, right? So there's Palestinian issues within Palestine. There's Israeli issues within. It all gets mixed up together. There are global issues, and it's so much more complicated. And honestly, if you really want to understand, if you really want to go out in the streets and demonstrate, like, first, really educate yourself. It's so harmful to just go out and say either black or white.
Yeah.
And that takes time. So
takes effort, and it takes motivation,
Yep. It takes
in our days it's really easy, you have your phone, you have your it's really easy to be whatever you want, to be mean, to be
right.
But wars were all over the world. It's not like only Israel and Palestine. And it seems like everybody, like all the focus is here, but there is another war in Ukraine and Russia.
Listen, I was just talking about the fact that, like, the Ukraine actually needs so much attention right now. Yes. And we actually need a little less attention. And I'm like, can someone please talk about the Ukraine? Not because I want to revert the attention, because literally they need so much attention right now. They need so much support. And it's amazing. The focus has completely shifted, completely. And the algorithm also of social media feeds into whatever it is
course. Yeah. And also, it's important for me to say that Israeli government sucks. Sorry, it sucks. And Hamas government or whatever they are sucks. And they are all fucked up. And it's something that we have to be truthful about it and to
Absolutely.
say, I'm protesting against this government like 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's awful. I don't want them to be there. I want
Absolutely.
all of them to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that Gaza people, I don't know, I think most of the people doesn't want Hamas. They are fear from Hamas. And we are trapped here.
Mm-hmm.
We are trapped here.
Mm-hmm.
This is also something that the world needs to hear from us, you know?
Absolutely. 100%. I was just commenting on someone who I ended up reporting and blocking because it was just too mean. I didn't want them in my energy and my sphere. But I did say, like, I'm okay with bringing to court Netanyahu, and I'm okay with, there's a lot of people who are doing currently and have done extreme wrong by us. And I mean, I'm okay with that. But like you said, and like you're describing, it's so much more complicated. There's the individuals, there are the people within who don't want these governments. And also, I mean, I speak to soldiers who are out there in Gaza, and they don't want to shoot a single innocent human being.
Yes.
They absolutely do not want to. They do, however, constantly have reminders everywhere and don't want these people to come into their homes again and rape their women and kill their children. And now we're finding out that it's not only raping their women, it's and killing and mutilating. And I mean, this is I have a friend who says, here's how I think of Israel. This is a non-Jewish person who lives in New York. He says, here's how I think about Israel. A guy walks into a bar with his wife, okay? And then another little guy, you know, starts bad-mouthing the wife and kind of getting in her face. And her husband's looking, and he's like, what? Just back off. Back off. Trust me, you have to back off. And then it gets really, really violent, and it escalates. And then that guy, the husband, you know, completely wipes out whatever is left of that person. And then he's prosecuted. and I'm like, that's such a good way to put it. That's Israel. Like, what are our, and I'm thinking of the soldier now. I'm thinking of the soldier that, you know, the guys that we hang out with in Tel Aviv, and they don't want innocent people to be hurt. They do want to avoid anything like October 7th for the rest of forever.
Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah,
it's
so complicated because
right.
People can't understand, like, what else do you think we should do? Mm-hmm. I really don't know. Now, you know, what else?
I also don't want people in Gaza to be afraid for their lives to protest. I mean, isn't that a basic human right to say, like, yes or no to your government?
You know, I think for the past 20 years, but more, because, you know, I was 25, we think so many years, we think and things need to change, really deep, have a change. And things are only escalating all the time. And you feel like you don't have any control. And, you know, lots of my friends went to live outside of Israel. Lots of artists can't live here anymore. Lots of people. But now you have these times, and this time you have here war, and your family is in danger, your friends are in danger, some of them in the army, some of your friends died, some, lots of people lost their relatives. And out of the country, anti-Semitism are growing. And you really feel trapped because you don't agree with you don't agree with anything that's going on, and you say, okay, but it's like bringing me to this thing I mentioned before, that I'm trapped. I really want a big change. I want it for my life, for my well-being, for my children, for my family, for my friends. There are really good people everywhere, here in Gaza, there are really good people in Lebanon, in Egypt, in Jordan, in Syria. There are really good people here. Why they have to suffer so much all the time? Why? For the land. It's only a land.
Let's talk about also the fact that within Iran, the voices that come out that for peace and for equality and for compassion, the voices coming out of there are overwhelming for me, and like I want to hug them all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the integrity and the sensitivity of what you were describing earlier, I'm going to go back for a minute, of think before you create. What do you want to convey to the world? What do you want to put out there? I think your students are very lucky to have you. And I think that is really, really important. And if everybody really internalize that, whether it's in words or in music or in art, a moment of what do you want to put out in the world? That is my big takeaway from what you're saying. And I'm very, very grateful to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, our students are really, really amazing, and they are really creative, and they want to be part of what's going on. And also when you talked, I was thinking, maybe like some of the crew of the art academies need to run the country. What will be if the art academy will run the will manage the country or run the country? Because it really can be a nice experiment.
Totally.
Yeah, we're always talking about women, women to be there and not men, but this is we need another hour. I hope my words will be understand and get sympathy for other people. And I really I feel I want to invite them to my house, make dinner and with me, and we can talk like eye to eye, because this is the way, this is the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take any more of your time, but I just want you to know that I could really, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you so much.
Thank you. It was really a big pleasure.